In order to make more profits, they are prepared to go to Europe and Asia. Now, Mr. President, I am thankfully not a lawyer, but that sure sounds like extortion to me.
Well, good people, Senator Sanders is at it again, doing what he does best, calling out these folks. So the Senator CHIP Act is pending in the United States Senate right now, and we're talking about $250 billion worth of subsidies, of which about $76 billion of those dollars are slated to go to the chip industry. And the senator is making it very clear that if in fact they get these subsidies, that the benefits that they reap from the public trough, because all these corporations are always at the public trough, the benefits that they reap should be given back to the American people. So the senator wants to attach some strings to the people's money. I'm with that.
Yeah, we can give it to some large profitable corporations with no strings attached, or we can use it, $76 billion, to expand Medicare to provide senior citizens with the high-quality hearing aids and eyeglasses that they desperately need. And for a bit more, we can provide dental care as well. For $76 billion, we could eliminate homelessness in America and create hundreds of thousands of good-paying jobs from Maine to California, building all of the affordable rental units that this country desperately needs.
So you have the CEO of Intel just crying the blues and saying to the Congress, don't go on recess. Do not go on August recess without passing this bill because we need it. And he goes on to say, I and others in the industry will make investment decisions. In other words, if you all don't do what we tell you to do, we might just have to take the jobs overseas. And Senator Sanders responded in his speech. Go ahead on, Senator Bernard Sanders.
Now, Mr. President, I am thankfully not a lawyer, but that sure sounds like extortion to me. What Mr. Gelsinger is saying is that if you don't give the industry a blank check, here's $76 billion, and they want more, by the way, despite the needs of the military for advanced microchips, and we hear that from the military, despite the needs of the medical industry for advanced microchips, despite the entire needs of the American economy for advanced microchips, the industry is threatening to abandon this country and move abroad. Patriotic people, no doubt. Clearly lovers of America.
Bam! Sounds like extortion to me too. And where is the patriotism in that? Everything that the senator just enumerated is a need in the United States of America. And then these mofos got the nerve to threaten, really threaten us. Basically, it's a hold up. Stick them up. Give us your money or else. That's not very patriotic. The problem here is vast. That in the United States of America, we always, or not we, they, the elected officials who answer to their owner donors, they make sure that they answer to their will. They're not answering to the will of the everyday people. I mean, why couldn't we get the child tax credit extended and made permanent? I think $250 billion could get us a whole lot for the everyday American people, everyday working class, poor, barely middle class people in this country. Why couldn't we raise the federal minimum wage in the United States of America that has been stuck at $7.25? Oh, how about paid family and medical leave? How about that? How about we put a windfall tax on the oil and gas industry? I mean, there is so much that we could do with that. How about advancing and enhancing Medicare for all? But yet and still not batting an eye with this CHIP Act. $250 billion of our dollars. And that's what I need you, sisters and brothers and family and friends, to understand. It's our money. And we got elected officials doing what they do worse, which is to answer to the owner donors and not answer to the everyday people with our money. So when they talk about what they're not going to spend, it's our money. So we should have a say in how it is spent. We need a real social contract in this country, a social contract one to another that focuses in on public goods to edify and to lift the everyday people of this nation. But yet and still, they probably gonna take this threat from the CEO. And I'm so glad that Senator Sanders called it what it was: pure, unadulterated extortion.
But that sure sounds like extortion to me.
I do hope Senator Sanders' amendment putting strings to be attached to that money is adopted. I do. And I want to bring the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s words into this space. Let him have the last word on this. And here it is. This country has socialism for the rich, rugged individualism for the poor. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke those words, baby, in the 60s. And it is as if his voice is speaking to us right now. We need to turn that around to make sure that the type of democratic, social contract that is rooted in the best of democracy for all people and not just the wealthiest and most well-connected people in this country. Corporations get welfare all the time, and we really don't say not much about that. When it comes to giving money to corporations and the wealthy, we call it subsidies. And when it comes to making investments in the hoods where people are misunderstood, rural hoods, urban hoods, suburban hoods, we call it welfare. Something is wrong with that. We can do better. We must do better. Let's go ahead and make a demand.